Hey y'all, it's Violet and welcome to my channel, The Violet Realm. My place here to share all my interests and hobbies such as music. And on August 16th, it will be the 48th anniversary of Elvis Presley's death. So to honor his memory, his legacy, his life, his music, I am going to do a reaction video to one of my favorite Elvis songs, Always on My Mind. But before I get into the video, I wanted to give you some background story of why I love Elvis Presley so much. I remember him listening to his records as a little girl, and I also vividly remember him in Blue Hawaii singing Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Uh, it's still an incredible song, and his voice is so beautiful. I just can't stress enough how gorgeous I think his voice is and how magical it is because it's so colorful. And he's also known as a singer of like 50 voices because his voice evolved so much and changed throughout his career from his 20s all the way up into his death, a very early death in his 40s. Um, so Always on My Mind was recorded in 1972, which is what I'm going to cover in this reaction video. Um, so if you don't know, Elvis never wrote any music. He's self-taught. He's obviously naturally gifted singer. He did mess around on the piano, and whatnot, but he never wrote a song. Every song was purchased. And Always on My Mind was given to him by his bodyguard, and he recorded it in March 1972, which is the one we're about to watch. And it was actually shortly after him and Priscilla Presley had split. So I think that brings even more meaning to the song because of their split. This song is about basically a breakup and not appreciating your partner until it's too late, but still wanting them to know how much you had cared about them. And so I'm jumping ahead a little bit on here. I just wanted to say that I remember him as a kid, but my interest in him got reignited when Baz Luhrmann came out with the Elvis film. And I am really glad Baz did it, and he did a phenomenal job. I'm so glad he did it for the next generation, or even my generation, who's still pretty young, to be exposed to Elvis Presley, his music, and his influence and impact on American culture. He wasn't just a great musician, he had a lot of social impact on the country as well as the entertainment industry itself. So I can honestly go on and on about Elvis Presley, but I won't. I'll go ahead and wrap it up with that introduction and dive right into this song. It's the recording of Always on My Mind in the studio. The quality's not that great, but it does not change how good of a song it is. So I've only seen glimpses of this. Um, so I haven't seen the full thing, so I'm super excited to watch it with you. Here we go. And again, I know it's not the best of quality.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
All right, so I'm gonna pause there to talk about his voice. So Elvis, became like an instant, well, I don't want to say instant, but basically like an instant hit in his early 20s, went off to the army, came back and did almost like 10 years of movie after movie after movie, right? And he had his comeback special in 1968, which I cannot wait to cover if I can dream. that song literally blows me away, and it just gives me the chills. But anyways, this is kind of like the beginning of another transition of Elvis's voice, where he's grown up, he's all grown up, so his voice is going to naturally change and get warmer and fuller. But he and Priscilla also really connected over their love of Mario Van's an opera singer, and so that's how you get these rich tones from Elvis's voice, and the color, the warmth, the grandeur of it all, and you get a glimpse of that with this song. And I think it evolves a lot more towards like the mid 70s, towards the end of his career. But the song itself is a beautiful ballad.
Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times, and I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. But you were always on my mind. Always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied, satisfied.
I'm going to pause right there just to give you some background story on this song in particular. It was written by 3 people, but one of the writers is a man named Wayne Carson, who worked on that bridge you just heard there.
Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have.
And I know it gets so shaky there.
Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times, and I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't love you.
You can hear how he has like a baritone voice, like dips really low on that.
Those lonely, lonely times. That's enough.
Recording. I remember now his famous sunglasses that he wore a lot. I think it was not Nautic too, I believe. I actually really wanted to buy a pair after watching the Elvis film, but they're kind of expensive. But it was really cool listening to the studio version, because I've heard the official audio that came out later that's remastered, which sounds way better than this version, but still, it's a great song. And I hope you enjoyed watching Elvis recorded as much as I did. He's just such a cool guy. He just so unique with his fashion sense and style and his voice. You can already tell, like as I kind of pointed out at the end, like how low his voice goes, but he is also like a baritone tenor. So his range is pretty decent. And like I said, I guess the best way for me to describe Elvis's voice is that it's very colorful and dreamy. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty a dreamy voice. So I hope I'm able to do a few more reaction videos of my favorite Elvis songs before August 16th. But if not, all of them, if they get approved, are to just really honor his memory and his ongoing legacy. And I did have the pleasure of visiting Graceland last year, and I really hope I get to go back again. And then maybe if I do get to go back again, get some live stream or some new video content for y'all if you are interested in more Elvis Presley. So with that, peace and love, and ciao.